Hi, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what a muscle imbalance actually is. To give you an example, I have my arm here, so every time I have to bend my arm, my bicep muscle has to contract in order to bend my elbow. And every time I straighten out my elbow, my tricep has to tighten up to straighten out my elbow, my arm. Okay, but a phenomenon happens where whenever I tighten up my bicep in order to bend my arm, my tricep in return has to relax in order to allow it to flex. Okay, now every time I straighten out my tricep, the same thing happens. My tricep has to tighten up, contract to straighten out my arm, and my bicep has to relax to allow that to happen. Now, that is what we call reciprocal inhibition, which is a technical term of every single time one muscle tightens, the other muscle relaxes, and that's what it is. Unnatural reciprocal inhibition, which those of you who have read my Muscle Imbalance article on musclebalancetraining.com, is when it's a muscle imbalance where whenever my bicep tightens but then tries to extend, I'm not able to extend my elbow all the way. Okay, now that's what a muscle imbalance is. So I can have range of motion through here because my biceps overworked, but it's extremely hard for me to straighten out my arm all the way. So I'm lacking this range of motion. That's what we call a muscle imbalance, is when the bicep is stronger than the tricep and I no longer have this range of motion. Okay, now I want you to think about that concept because that's what's happening all over our bodies all the time, depending on what profession we're in, depending on what we're doing every single day of our life. Repetitive movements, we work more muscles more than the other. Like a lot of us have to sit down at desk jobs all day long. And a lot of people who have desk jobs all day long have lower back pain. Okay, that's a prime example of a muscle imbalance. Okay, now there's three different kinds of muscle imbalances that I want to teach you about. I'm going to put all three of these in different videos. So the first one, what we're going to talk about is the upper extremities. Okay, with the shoulders, people who have neck pain, sometimes headaches, and the trapezius, you need massage. Who doesn't need massage, right? That is the upper extremities posture. Okay, now the lumbopelvic hip complex, which is just a technical terminology for your hips and your lower back, that can deviate. So like if your pelvis is tilting forward, that's what we call an anterior pelvic tilt. Anterior meaning forward, and that can actually cause some lower back pain. In reverse, if you have too much of a posterior, you know, your spine doesn't have that good arch support and you start getting pain as well. So those are two different deviations in the middle section of our body. Okay, then we have our lower extremities, which are our feet. So you've probably seen people, if not yourself, where your feet are out wide like this, and as you walk, you might roll in, which is called pronation. Some people supinate, where they roll outwards too much and they get ankle pain, shin splints, sometimes even knee pain from that. And you'll also notice some wear and tear on the treads of your shoes. Those are three different symptoms of muscle imbalances. And we're going to go into a video for each one, break that down even further, and explain why you get that, what muscles are working are too tight, the reasons why you have it, what muscles are not strong enough, and what you can do exactly on how to fix all of that. So to start your adventure, just go to the next video and we'll get started right away.